All right, I'll kick us off then. At 10, I've gone for Jorge Villafana. He started with Chivas as a homegrown, played about 16,000 minutes in MLS, spent a lot of time here, made a really big impact on the league itself. He was a very good attacking fullback, 10 goals and 21 assists as a fullback. Phenomenal output. He did get a brief stint, a brief move outside of MLS, which helped a little bit. I think it ended up being about 920,000 euros, I believe, according to Transfer Market. So just shy of a million. No personal awards. I didn't consider like youth international stuff, by the way. Or if a team won like the Gold Cup, I didn't really consider that either. International competitions, I really only considered if it was something major, like if they won the World Cup. Um, but Jorge Villafana also won MLS Cup and MLS's back tournament, which definitely helped him a little bit in the awards. And then with the national team as well, played about 1,500 minutes, which is a pretty solid output. So his stats in MLS, I think, really bumped him up for me. And then he was able to chip in with a couple of solid areas as well, like awards and national team minutes. And he was able to just sneak in there.
I don't hate it. Was that you said he's 21 on my list of 82. So he was close for me. Um his lack of money sold for in outside of the league hurt him for me in terms of my numbers.
It's
Um
better than zero.
yeah, but I don't hate him, right? Yeah, zero would have knocked him way low. So um I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it at 10. My number 10, if we're talking about impact on the league, is Jesus Ferreira. So all of his stats, except for international appearances, hurt him, right? He hasn't been sold yet because he's a one club guy, and he hasn't won a ton of titles because he's newer into the fold of things, and FC Dallas aren't great. But you're talking about his impact on MLS as a whole for the people who aren't the Euro snobs talking about how he can only do it, in MLS. Has been great. He's the first homegrown player to get a designated player contract. Um, he's got looks overseas. He hasn't made that move yet, but the second he does, he's going to get bumped up the list because of his money move or his money sold for. Um, again, he gets in there because I think it being the first homegrown. If you talk about the impact of being a homegrown player on MLS, being the first homegrown to go from homegrown to designated player deserves a spot and a mention in the top 10 for me because that is something that you really can't measure based off of the stats that we have laid out, but I feel like it would have been tough for not to get him in here.
Yeah. Uh, he's definitely blown up in the last couple of seasons. It's just I'm sure by the time Jesus Ferreira is done, he's gonna be way higher in the top 10 list on this one. But I think a couple more seasons and he'd be a lock in the top 10. But it has still kind of like as much as he's been so good the last couple of years, it's kind of really just been like the last two, maybe three seasons.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. Number 9.
Go ahead.
Do you want to go first on this one? We could switch off.
I
Or
get
am
the
I going
odd
first every
numbers.
time?
Do I get the odd? That means I get the odd numbers. Seven,
Sure.
5, 3. Okay, that means I'll finish with one. I'm okay with that.